Hey guys, in today's episode, we talk about the fantasy playoffs starting this week. We rate our concern about some injured players that might be in your lineup, and then we go on a little snake draft of our favorite Christmas movies.
Welcome to the Coach and Commish podcast. No, not Adam Gase, and definitely not Roger Goodell. It's Chris and Sean breaking down fantasy football for the everyday man.
Welcome back. You're here with the Coach and Commish. I'm Chris. This is Sean to my right, and today starts playoff week. And almost if you didn't do last week, some still did it, but week 15, that is playoff week. And
How'd you do, Chris? We got like 8 leagues.
Yeah, 8 leagues.
Did we make the playoffs in the fishbowl?
No.
Oh.
You had to win your thing, and we were.
Oh, you had to just win straight out.
You had to win there. So
what did it end up?
I think we're at 7-4 or 7-5.
Is that like 4th or something?
Yeah, we were tied there around 3rd or 4th.
Okay.
We had a little
respectable with all the injuries. We had Cam Akers,
Calvin Ridley.
Yeah,
not doing much, but
Kenny Galladay's disaster.
Yeah, we did pretty good. I was in the Megala Bowl. The Footballers League, I missed out on that one. I think you had to win that one as well. I was in the top 4 there. But honestly, I only made one playoff. Damn. I missed out last week on 3 of them.
Oh, heartbreak week.
Yeah, and so it was bad. So this year's weird. Last year I made it in half, won 1 championship. This year,
you're not going to know what to do with yourself.
On 1. It's all in the Dynasty League now.
Yeah, that's true. You are. Were you number 1 seed or number 2?
2. My brother.
I was hoping you didn't get that bye because I'm trying. I have his first round pick.
Yeah.
So I was like, dang it, hoping you would kind of fall down there.
And you Commish, you're in quite a few playoffs, man.
I am. We're in 3 leagues together, and I made every single playoff in those leagues.
Yeah.
And then I'm in one that's my for fun league that I should easily dominate, and absolutely did. By 100 points, I scored more points, and I did not make the playoffs.
Yeah, his lineup in that league was ridiculous, but
unbelievable.
The head-to-head weekly matchups matter.
It's all. There's no points, so I just continued to be the second
yeah.
scorer in like 5 of the weeks, and so that's just a testament. If you have the opportunity to do some type of point-based incentive, you should do it.
Yes, it really helps evens it out because that league.
If you're that person,
is ridiculous.
It's not a fun life.
You know what's ridiculous right now?
Injuries.
I'm going to throw it to you. We always start off here. We got some key injuries going into playoff week of guys I picked that are definite, except maybe for one here, but definite guys in fantasy playoff lineups. So 0 to 10, 0 being no worry, 10 being extremely worried. I'm going to start off Lamar Jackson's ankle injury. He left right about halftime of the game last week, and he was in a boot. What do you think about him?
He was carted off the field.
Yeah.
That's not a good sign either. They're saying it's not a high ankle sprain. Mm-hmm. These things do tend to swell up later, so I wouldn't say we're out of the woods yet, but there's a possibility he plays. I would downgrade him as a start. I'm rating this 1 to 10 as 10 being most concerned.
Yeah, most concerned.
So I think I'm probably at about an 8. I mean, I'm very concerned because, like I said, either way, say he does come play, that's Lamar's game. That's why you have him as a fantasy player, and I just don't see where he's Lamar Jackson running all over the field off of this injury, even if he is able to get on the field.
And he was already struggling before this ankle injury is going to hamper, like you said, his best part of the game. So, high concern there. This one, everyone hits the news, especially if you're McAfee. Aaron Rodgers, worsening toe injury, even as he's exploding stat-wise.
Yeah.
What's your worry on this scale, 0 to 10, on his toe injury?
I'm not that concerned. I'd put it at maybe a 3, 2. Okay. He's been dealing with it. He's continued to play well. I mean, at some point, it maybe gets to the point where he can't physically, move around in the pocket. But for right now, I'm not that concerned. He seems to re-aggravate it every game, and then he gets it, well enough to play the next week and does well. So
all right. So this guy, Antonio Brown, he was hurt.
10. Move on.
He had the COVID thing, and now they don't even want to put him back in like for the rest of the season. Like the team is not happy with him. So if you're an owner of AB,
seems to be a trend with Antonio Brown.
If you're an owner of AB and you're rostering him, he definitely is on the bench right now, right?
Yeah, I think that this is. I mean, if you want to bring this to a dynasty question, I think that's the only place you can go. If otherwise, drop him if you're in any type of redraft. There's the possibility that he plays in week 17 in your playoff, in your championship. But I could find better defenses to hoard or something like that. And in Dynasty, if someone will take him, this could be the end for him.
All right, so another quarterback with a foot injury. Josh Allen went off last week against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, but he was in a walking boot after Sunday's game, got more tests on Monday. They think he should still be a go. What's your concern with Josh Allen?
So, I mean, it's similar to Lamar. His legs are a big part of his game. He is able to do it more with his arm, I think, than Lamar. So you have a little bit of safety there. But I'll down tick him a little. The concern maybe at like a 5.
Okay.
So not crazy concerned. I'm probably still playing him if they say he's playing. But yeah, it sucks, especially you had him all year and now playoffs are here and you can't be as confident.
Especially with the week he just had.
Yeah.
So let's go with 2 running backs here to end this segment here. Deandre Swift. He's still day-to-day, but there's whispers of him going to the IR. We're recording on a Tuesday of this week. What's your concern level with Deandre Swift?
Yeah, I'm at about an 8. I mean, I have him in the Dynasty League. I had Christian McCaffrey and Deandre Swift, and I can't use either of them for my playoff run, and it's killing me. I think that the news lately has been closer to the day-to-day. Like, I don't know. I just can't see a Dan Campbell team shutting it down. So I would think that he has a possibility to come back. But again, it's still a scary situation when you've got coming off an injury and you got to put him right into your lineup for a playoff game. So, yeah, I'm concerned. There's no way for us to know whether they will do that shutdown. But lately I've heard at least somewhat of positive news that he could be coming back this week. So
okay. And Austin Eckler played through a rough ankle injury this past weekend, on Sunday, but now they got a short week going to Thursday night. What's your worry about him and his production, even being on the field?
And that makes it more of a worry. If it was a Sunday game, I'd probably have a less concern, maybe at like more of a 4. But I'll probably go 6 or 7 here, just because it seems like he could have come back in the game. So that's reassuring, seeing as he will get 4 days later than just coming in that exact game. But you still got to be a little concerned with the injuries. I mean, you don't want to play these guys and then end up with a 1 or 2 in your slot there. I mean, it's scary.
Terrible.
If I've got like a better option that I can throw in there, like say a T. Higgins, who I'll talk about later, then it's hard because of the upside to sit a guy like Austin Eckler. But if they're not, if they're a little concerned and there's talk of splitting carries and stuff like that, or fear of re-aggravation, then I might go with that other flex option that I'm sure, unless you're the underdog and you need that upside. But
okay. All right, from our concerning injury reports here, we go to the party question of the week.
Ian, would you like to go to a party in my pants?
No, Brick.
All right, let's go.
All right, so this week we're doing like a mini draft here on our favorite Christmas movies, 3 rounds. So we get 3 picks. We'll go back and forth. And to start us off, we need to do a little rock, paper, scissors, so you get first pick.
That's true. Or we could do who has the best record in all the leagues we play together.
Here we go.
And rock, paper, scissors, shoot. All righty, I got the scissors.
Just like the fantasy leagues.
Is this to go first or to choose?
Choose.
All right, I want second.
Okay.
So it'll be a snake draft. We'll go back to back for the second. So, Chris, start us off. What's your first pick for the bet? This is you claiming the best Christmas movie.
The best Christmas movie. I have to go with the Santa Claus and Tim Allen.
Knew you would take one of my 2. So.
That's my first pick. My favorite of all time. It's just phenomenal. It's Tim Allen at his best back in the 90s.
Nice. I like it. I do think it is the best Christmas movie, but we're going to put this up for a poll, so a little bit of the vote getting matters to me.
Yeah.
So, but this is pretty rivaled as my favorite. It's weird because I hate Will Ferrell in general, like I hated him, but this was the first movie that I actually really liked Will Ferrell in, an Elf. I mean, it's just
no argument on this side.
It's a solid choice, and I have no problem taking Elf here. I'm pretty happy to get him.
All right, now snake back, man. You got.
So yeah, I
got the next one here.
I was ready to go with the 1, 2, and be really, really set up. But I'm gonna go. I might go for a deeper one here. And I'm gonna go with the Grinch, but I'm not gonna go with the original Grinch. I'm not gonna go with the Jim Carrey Grinch. Get that out. I hate the Jim Carrey.
Yeah, I hate the Jim Carrey one.
I'm gonna go with the latest one that came out with Benedict Cumberbatch. It's done by Illumination.
Oh, I forgot about that.
The makers of Despicable Me, and to me it's a great movie. Like, it's like Despicable Me Christmas, and I really like it. It's fantastic. So Illumination's Grinch.
All right. Okay, so That's some good ones here. I'm going to go with here, so I'm going in the second round, then I'll come back snake and get my last pick. But Jingle All the Way. That was one of my favorites as a
going
kid.
for it.
I love Jingle All the Way.
You'll get some people that'll vote for you and some that'll say you're stupid.
Yeah, the Turbo Man doll. That was my thing. That was amazing. So that's my second pick. But a third pick, and I know that you're going to hate me for taking it here.
No.
But it comes back to me, but Home Alone.
Oh, okay.
And I'm going to go with
that's a great
I'm going to go with the first one.
Okay.
2 out of 3 of them are
We'll say you
very
can't take any others from the...
Yeah, Home Alone, I mean, can it get any better than that original? As a kid, I wanted to do all those things, but did I really want to get crossed up with bad guys? No.
Yeah.
So Jingle All the Way, finishing up with Home Alone. What do you got?
So I like those picks. Jingle All the Way, like I said, that'll be a hard one. It's funny, I watched it with my wife this year, and she's like, this is one of the worst movies I've ever watched in my life. What is this? What are we watching? I was like, if you watched it when you were a kid, it was amazing.
It was as a kid.
So, but I'm gonna go with the Polar Express.
Nice.
I love the Polar Express.
Your family loves that movie.
They do. Every year we watch the Polar Express. So I'm gonna go with the Polar Express.
I never watched it.
And that's the end. What? You never watched the Polar Express?
I've never seen it. I got to see it this year.
You should watch it. It's really good.
You want to have a slumber party? We can watch together?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So that's our draft. I have Elf, The Illuminations, Grinch, and Polar Express. And Chris has...
I got the Santa Claus, Jingle All the Way, and Home Alone.
Not bad. Not bad. It might actually be a little bit of a battle here.
Yeah. I got some classics on my 90s kid here. All right. So from there, we're going to go to our turntables of the week.
Well. How the turntables...
All right, so our turntables, we're looking at who should go to your bench or be dropped, or someone graduating from your bench to a permanent role to your starting lineup. Sean, I love your pick here, and this might be too late if some guys have been sitting on him, but who's your guy?
T. Higgins. I have him in our league, and it's going to be a tough decision for me to whether or not to start him over even a Javonte Williams. I think you should put him in your lineups. In most situations, you're going to have the opportunity to put this guy in your lineups. He's really come on. He had a fantastic season last season for a rookie. We kind of forgot about him because of the breakout of Jamar Chase, but really the target guy has been T. Higgins lately. I think that he's somebody that through these playoffs that people are going to be able to depend on. And if you were looking for that solid spot, like say you have a Hollywood Brown, easy decision for me. I'm graduating T. Higgins up into my lineup.
Okay, yeah. People were afraid to trade for him, but guys like you winning because of him. My guy, I hate you, Urban Meyers, but you got to bench James Robinson.
It sucks, too, because I feel like a lot of people made the move for James Robinson in the playoffs.
We tried to make a trade.
Yeah.
It was in a keeper auction league, but I just had to hold on to him because I'm praying for a better setup next year, James.
Yeah.
And that's the issue is Urban Meyer, for some reason, wants to play as Carlos Hyde guy, not run the ball at all. And he's just getting game planned out for no reason. Even local broadcaster interviewing him and just asking him the question, what's going on? James Robinson can't give anyone an answer. Urban Meyer just sucks as a head coach.
Yeah.
He's worse than Adam Gase.
So if you're in a flex position, mine versus yours, you're T. Higgins?
Oh, T. Higgins all the way.
All right. Let me give you some running backs just because people are going to be making these decisions, and they, like I said, they're prepared to have he's got some good matchups, so you can kind of hope on the matchups. But like you said, Urban Meyer's been killing him. Let's say you have Rashad Penny fresh off the big game. That's the point where you would sit James Robinson for Rashad Penny, who seems to have taken that role in the Seattle offense?
I would take Rashad Penny there. Wow. And it sounds horrible. It's no fault of James Robinson.
I know.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think that sums it up there. I don't need to ask any more questions. But let's move on to our starts and sits of the week. I'll start us off here, and I was just really excited to put this guy in here because I thought I saw that Pittsburgh defense against my wonderful Dalvin Cook, who Chris gifted me
a couple years ago. Yeah.
And I thought, who's playing them? Because if it's somebody who's a fringe guy, I'm putting him in, and that's Deonta Foreman this week.
Yeah.
Tennessee Titans are coming to play the Pittsburgh Steelers, and we've seen that the holes that were created for Dalvin Cook, I think my co-host over here, Chris Schoenrock, could run through them and have a pretty good fantasy day.
Oh, yeah. I could. In Pittsburgh not having probably...
He's got bum ankles.
Yeah, I got 2 bad ankles. And there's no TJ Watt over there, I think, this week for Pittsburgh. I think they might be resting him for another week here, so Foreman can run all over him.
Yeah, so I love the matchup there. If he's somebody that you're kind of debating putting into your lineup, I really like putting him in. So, like, if you're looking at somebody like a Devonta Freeman even, who's been really steady for your team, I'm probably leaning the Deonta Foreman this week. If you got any of those New England backfield, I'm going Deonta Foreman. That's just how confident I am this week.
All right. So my start of the week here, after going those injury concerns with so many quarterbacks, I'm looking at Kirk Cousin versus the Bears.
All right.
Now, the Bears, they're 30th right now in most leagues and fantasy leagues.
For those Lamar Jackson owners, right?
Yeah, for those Lamar Jackson owners, get yourself Kirk Cousins. Bears are really bad against quarterbacks in fantasy. They allow the most points. And don't let the production of the Steelers game, especially the second half of Kirk Cousins, scare you away. There were so many opportunities that it didn't make sense of what Kirk was missing Jefferson so much. And I think that Jefferson can take advantage of the Bears defense. And we could see probably without Adam Thielen, it took them a little bit of getting used to finding the other receivers and another week of practice, another game under their belt without Thielen. I think Kirk Cousins can give you definitely a 25-point game.
So, as we know, question time here. I'm going to put you to the test. So, Lamar Jackson, say he comes back and he is able to play, and you're now making that decision between a bum-ankled playing Lamar Jackson or Kirk Cousins. Where are you going?
I would go Kirk Cousins.
Okay. Yeah. You don't want to mess around with that ankle in the playoffs.
Not with that ankle, and then as we saw, he's been on a slump.
And then what about Taysom Hill?
I like Taysom Hill.
Okay.
That running
the
side,
rushing is just too much to overcome. The upside's there, and then you have the baseline. I agree. I love a guy like that. What about a Jalen Hurts? Kirk Cousins or Jalen Hurts? Hurts is playing Washington.
Washington. I would go with Kirk.
All right. So, yeah, there's some guys that you may be starting that Chris says put in Kirk, Captain Kirk. All right, and then our sits, I'll start us off. This is a guy that I acquired in our Dynasty League after Christian McCaffrey went down. Felt really good about myself that I had what was, 70% of what Christian McCaffrey was going to be. And Chuba Hubbard is not that.
No, he's not. It's very disappointing.
Yeah, it's been rough. And really the matchup, you would think, he's playing Buffalo Bills. That's been kind of the stay away, but they've softened over the last few weeks. There's been some good teams. There's been some running backs that have done very well against them. So it's not the matchup that concerns me. Like I said, it's the utilization. 39% of snaps last week, 10 carries in a game where there was a lot more to get than that. And then, he saved his week with a touchdown, so you may think you're all right, but I think a lot of the times those are going to go to Cam. If he's starting, it's a disaster there.
It goes back and forth each drive, it seems. It's awful.
So if I can avoid it, I'm just going to try to stay away from Chuba Hubbard this week. I'll pull up a few guys here kind of to give you who I'm like. A Deonta Foreman for sure. I'm starting him over. If I've got like Melvin Gordon, I know you're probably not making that decision. It's probably much easier to make that type. But even like a Devonta Freeman, Rashad Penny that we mentioned earlier, I would love to start him over. Even like a Darrell Williams, I still feel a little more confident that he's got a role on the Chiefs' offense that I feel the upside is better there than it is with Chuba Hubbard, who's just not on the field as much. They're probably on the field a similar amount of time, and I like the offense for the Chiefs better.
Yeah, I would definitely go Darrell Williams over Chuba. And it is very odd there, but you would have to sit him. My sit of the week is a big name. I think I can finally say sit DK Metcalf.
All right.
There's something more going on there outside of Russ just missing him, because Russ ain't missing Lockett.
Only fans or whatever.
Yeah, that whole stuff that Metcalf's got himself involved with these women off the field and all that drama. The synergy, as you would say, between him and Russ ain't there. I would say Russ is disappointed in what he's doing, and it's affecting their on-field production together, because Russ can throw to Lockett all day long, but he can't hit Metcalf on a quick slant in the end zone. It's really, really weird. And Metcalf, it's been riding so bad lately, and now with Penny coming on, and Pete Carroll loves a running game, it might be less passing production this week here in the first week of fantasy playoffs.
All right, so let me give you some guys, because, DK Metcalf's a big name that most people just think they can put into their lineup. A T. Higgins we've talked about. I'm sure that you're going T. Higgins at that point. What about Mike Williams, who's kind of struggled? Are you going DK Metcalf or Mike Williams?
Mike Williams.
Yeah, I'd agree with you there. Now, let's take two struggling guys. If you've got let's say you've got Hollywood Brown and you have DK Metcalf. You got to make this decision of who to put in and who's going to make me cry least.
Okay, I would go with Metcalf on that one.
Okay, you just like the upside of the offense better than the passing that comes in that Baltimore offense. Okay,
yeah.
I'd agree with that. Let's see. What about Michael Pittman, who's kind of been disappointing as well? Would you be going DK Metcalf or
who's Pittman playing this week?
He plays New England.
Oh, I'd probably go Metcalf then.
It's in Indianapolis, if that helps, in a dome, so it's not that awful.
No, you know what?
whirlwind.
I would go Pittman because even if Pittman doesn't get the touchdown, he might get you 7 targets with 5 catches and some production of yards. And Metcalf he's just so off his game.
All right, well, there you have it. Sit DK Metcalf, and if you have DK Metcalf in any playoff game, you better start him because Chris has been very wrong about all of these.
Yeah, especially on my sits. I've been pretty bad on.
So
all
he's
those
helping
guys.
you out, really.
All right, Commish, do we got anything else for our listeners?
I don't think so. We're really bad at this bet thing. We'll try this time. If you guys give us, well, no, we're doing a beer bet, but we need to come up with what we're gonna actually argue about. So. We'll try this time this week. We'll really try.
We'll put it on our Facebook page by Sunday morning.
Yeah, we'll come up with something that we disagree on, and then we'll put a bet down on it.
All right, guys. Well, thank you for listening. Listen to the outro voice and follow us on our social media pages, especially Facebook, and hit us up with your start sit on Sunday morning.
Deuces.
Thanks for listening to the Coach and Commish podcast. Don't forget to check us out on Twitter and Instagram at Coach and Commish. And join our Facebook group called Fantasy Football Advice with the Coach and Commish for direct access to weekly waiver wire and start sit advice.